Yeah, so my chiropractic story is I was born to a chiropractic family. I was born in Davenport, Iowa, where my father was going to school, and my birth was hard apparently, and Virgil Strang or Victor Strang actually adjusted my cranials when I was just an infant. I was adjusted throughout my growing up life. My father passed away early on, and there were some chiropractors in Colorado Springs at the time that took care of our family. And so it's just what we did and what I always knew. I wasn't vaccinated and really a chiropractic child my whole life. And in college, I met a woman who I didn't have anything to do after college. I was about to graduate, and she pushed me into, or suggested I go to chiropractic college. She was a massage therapist at the time, and she showed me, what schools are out there, and she said, I think you should go to this one. It was Davenport, Iowa. So I looked it up, and I had all the prerequisites. I was ready to go, and I went, and I got to really discover, who my father was and what his choices were way back when, and where I was born. So I went through that school, and what I really began to understand in that is that there's so many different ways within chiropractic to influence the body and to change how people's nervous system works. And I studied as many techniques as I could. I took all the electives that were possible. I took electives outside, some really esoteric, wild chiropractic work that's out there. And at the same time, I knew all this stuff. I knew all this material. I knew all these different things to do and what to check. But I didn't really have the definitive yes or no type of a response that I was looking for. So I wanted a way, and I was asking, the universe in a sense, how I can find out from the body what to do and when to do it, and if it worked properly. So when I asked for that, it came to me, and I found a test that we can use for the body that gives me an exact yes or no. So it's like a true or false. It's like a yes or no. It's like a 1 or a 0, an immediate response from the nervous system. And so what do you do when you can have a yes or no from the body, when you can ask any question essentially in real time with someone's body? What do you do? And so I delved super deep into the subluxation. And the subluxation, at that time, we were adjusting anywhere from 10 to 15 different components within the subluxation on each vertebral level. And now we're up to 45, 50 different things that we can find and identify and then clear out on each vertebral level. And these are neurologic elements to a subluxation. Yeah, so when I first started practice, I had time with people. I had a half hour, I had an hour with some people, and so like others, I spent all that time working on people the entire time. So I learned a lot in that process, and I was getting results. So so what ended up happening after that? So I've been in practice for about 15 years now, and what I love about it is that it is the simplicity of the subluxation. So, and just how profound it can be. So in other practices that I've worked in, we've done a bunch of nutrition and emotional work and pathogen work and all sorts of cranial respiration, different elements that we can check. And I keep coming back to the subluxation because it's so powerful and it's so present. And using this testing, we found out that the subluxation is in fact like a universal way that the body will accumulate stress. So no matter who we are, no matter if you're, what animal we are, if it's a tiger, we've adjusted tigers, if it's a dog, cat, whatever it is, sheep, the method that the body will store stress is that we have consistent components in any vertebrate. In practicing and spending all this time with people, we can clear this out just in a clean way and completely clean the slate out of the nervous system. So in my practice, I try to see people, in that first visit, I really want to make a profound change such that, a full pattern interrupt with people. So we completely, beyond their expectations, change, you know, how their body functions, and let them have an experience in that moment. Yeah, so we have OST. I have a branded technique called OST, open source technique. And I'm not here to sell that, but I'm here to say what's possible within the subluxation. So what we can do now is we can find out information, what took one bit of information. So I'm doing a test, and then I'm checking, and I'm doing a test, and I'm checking. So we're doing it like one bit every 2 seconds. Now what we can do is we can find out anywhere from 4 to 5 to 6 different bits of information in that same time period. So I'm ripping through the analysis, and it's just as accurate as it ever was. There's a quick story. When I was in 2006, I was in Indonesia, and I worked at a birthing center, and normally I have people wear a gown, and I mark off each vertebra, very detailed. And in Indonesia, they don't speak English. I can't explain what I'm doing. We can't put on gowns. And so I was, you know, forced to really accelerate what I was doing and change how it was. And this is the first step where I could find out and discovered that we can actually use our mind to challenge the body, and there's an influence between the body or my body and the subject's body. So we can ask questions in our mind and get a response out of the body in real time, almost as fast as we're thinking it. So now, and it's just as accurate as it was before, so with the physical challenging. So now I'm going through and rolling through, you know, 500, 1,000 different questions in 20 minutes, finding out exactly what to do and clearing it out as I'm finding it. Yeah, focus for sure. Instead of doing everything all at once every time, we're now focusing it and just and finding it out immediately and then clearing it out immediately. So in terms of chiropractic becoming more broad, the information that that I'm doing, what we've done is we've presented it in a way that's very clean for people to understand. It's actually a super simple system. Like the way that the body stores stress is super simple, very consistent, and very reproducible. So once we know that, we can. If you know anatomy, we can do chiropractic is basically how it is. So I would love to be able to share, you know, just the language that we've discovered on how the body accumulates stress, and knowing that language, we can affect the body in whatever ways we're experts at, and make real changes. So the body and the nervous system controls, you know, everything in the body, and we can isolate and ask questions about anything in the body. So the nervous system controls the jaw and the cranials and facial bones and organs and muscles and tendons and bursa, and every bit of anatomy. We can find out what's going on and then clear it out as we go.
So tell us about your feelings about how you see the future going, and also because you had your first experience with medical people delivering chiropractic. So us as a group working with some highly motivated medical doctors moving in the same direction, how do you feel the future is going to be? What's your vision of the future?
Yeah, I see chiropractic being integrated into the medical profession, especially in Europe and in Germany. As long as you're an expert in anatomy, we can do chiropractic, and we can do it safely too. So it's a wide open market, really. I mean, any condition anyone ever comes in, there's some reflection in the subluxation in their body, and if that can be addressed at that time, then we're going to have significant results with whoever we see in our office. So I would love to be able to just slip in a chiropractic perspective, just to be considered in any medical practice, and to further, you know, to unlock what's holding us back. So.
Let's thank Jonathan Leusden. Give him a hand.